found footage, paranormal activity, the Blair Witch, heavy hitters that really set the stage. But what if we talk about the ones that aren't really that big? Today we're going to talk about 4 different found footage films that I watched and you probably have never seen. Films like I Joined a Cult, The Devil's Familiar, To Jennifer, and Visher. These 4 kind of caught my eye. I've been kind of on like a found footage kick lately, and I wanted to watch a few to kind of give you guys a perspective on what found footage could be. Now, some of these kind of walk the line on what found footage is. They all do fit the parameter in essence of having some sort of first-person perspective and or some CCTV footage. Some may argue that one of them kind of isn't really found footage. It fit my criteria. My criteria might just be lower than yours. Regardless though, let's go ahead and get into it. This one is relatively recent from 2024. It follows a pseudo reporter. Her name is Sam. She plans on infiltrating a cult, maybe to expose what cults are for, or maybe it's just for her own personal gain. You can kind of get the vibe from the beginning where we are greeted with Sam kind of from like a documentary perspective.
3 years now, watching every interview I can find from members of various cults.
It looks like she is being interviewed about what is to entail. Now, I gotta say, when I watched this, you definitely get the vibe of found footage. This is filmed mostly through Sam's perspective. You get a lot of face cam shots, a lot of hidden camera shots as well. Sam mainly is just trying to infiltrate this cult. It seems she is also trying to get a hold of her friend Gary. Originally, Gary was helping her out with driving Sam to a location. They got a flat tire. Gary went to go fix it and died. Sam, riddled in guilt, wants to infiltrate this cult to expose them. Once she gets a hold of one of the cult members, Jason asks about her dead friend Gary. Intrigued, Sam does a little bit of digging on the cult to figure out how she can join. Watching the expose on the TV screen, her and her friends plan on doing a Ouija board. Now, I don't know about you, every time I've seen a movie with a Ouija board, it never ends good. Ever. After a little bit of drinking, of course the Ouija board spells out Gary's name. Sam, being pissed off, gets a little angry with her friends and kicks everybody out. We also learn in this segment that she needs to take medication. Don't know what for. Medication is needed and her friend is definitely worried.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, doesn't go well with your medication.
Eventually though, the friend zone to the max David helps out Sam in order of driving her to the location to where the cults live. Now, during this car ride, you can definitely see a lot of tension in the air, and that tension may be sexual or intentional. When Sam arrives to the cult's location, you definitely get that culty vibe. Everybody is extremely nice, and then one of the cult members notices Sam looks like Alice. At this point, we don't know who Alice is, yet apparently it's like a doppelganger. Sam gets acquainted with Jason, asking him a few questions. Then she is to meet the cult leader. Atticus is this soft-spoken, well-mannered man who seems to have believed what they are doing is for a greater cause. Atticus shows Sam some footage in regards to who Alice is. They state Alice is possessed, of course, and they need to exorcise her. Regardless, however, Sam is definitely intrigued and wants to get a little bit more information on this. After leaving the room, Sam sets up a few hidden cameras, calls friend zone Dan to kind of give him an update. During Sam's time here at the cult's house, she is to kind of get like an introduction ceremony with the group to see if she is accepted, I guess. Drinking from a ceremonial bowl of a strange liquid, and you start to get some visual interference. Now, when I seen this video effect, instantly I figured either A, she's being drugged, or B, she didn't take her meds. Eventually though, Sam does meet Alice. You see that, yeah, that looks like Sam. They are the exact same person. Sam asks some questions. She eventually gets indoctrinated to the cult, and then a lot of weird things start happening. By weird, not so much of paranormal, but more so of just cult vibes. The film goes on and they hold an exorcism for Alice. We learned earlier that Atticus has all of these VHS tapes for all of their healings, whatever you state it, but most of them do state ashwagandha, so drugs. They hold this exorcism and Atticus is planning on expelling the demon from Alice. Before he can get into this salt circle, however, Sam jumps in and she goes into what seems like a trance. She's in like this upside downy dark alternate world. She goes upstairs to Alice's room, talks to Alice for a second, sees Gary, hugs Gary, tells Gary she loves him. Then from a camera, you notice that she is by herself. Eventually she wakes up the next day, Dan is there, takes her, and then Sam is in the bathroom. You see Alice over her shoulder, Sam takes her meds, and everything is fine. Now, of course, I'm leaving a lot of the information out so you can go watch it yourself, but those are pretty much the key factors of the movie. My hot take is that the whole thing is kind of a blur. Dan never sees any of the cult members, nor talks to them. Sam never takes her medication, and once she does take her medication, the demon is gone? I don't know. It's a good perspective on found footage, and I kind of liked it, so 7 out of 10. Next movie. The Devil's Familiar is a 2020 British found footage film that's taken from a perspective of both a police investigation and a documented investigation, I guess you could say. University students Elliot and Jake are creating a documentary investigation series for the 2006 Ribsford Wood murders. The film kind of kicks off the documentary with the rundown of the Ribsford Woods murders. Despite this kind of amateur setup, the pacing feels tight and definitely intentional. Constantly Elliot, whenever the scene is done, states "cut it." And I think that's a really good take on what they're actually doing. I mean, it definitely gives the found footage vibe without really over exaggerating on everything. The pacing of this is really fast. I mean, you start off the actual documentary with Elliot interviewing a Daily Port journalist named Reeve Ryder. Reeve Ryder was the journalist that was on the scene of the murders when it happened, and he kind of gives his firsthand details on the whole experience, handing them newspaper cutouts. Elliot hits the streets, interviewing some locals around the town, asking about the Ribsford murders, everybody having their own take, especially when meeting the Ribsford Woods Rambling Association. Nothing really notable happens here, except for apparently this guy hates millennials.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours, bloody millennials.
Cut that.
After that, then we meet Professor Moses. I mean, this whole film is really just you meet this person, you meet that person for the first half, and eventually they meet Sally Edwards. Sally Edwards is the survivor of the Ribsford Woods murders, and of course the accusé of the murders. People calling her Beast Woman. We also meet Rex, who is a brother of one of the victims, and also Logan. Logan is a cryptozoologist, and he is actually kind of skeptical on what happened. Now, Elliot, Jake, Logan, and Rex plan on going to the woods to do a little bit of first-hand investigation. The only plan they have is to get just evidence of that this beast is real. As they go, one thing leads to another. They start hearing some sounds, some scratches, and of course they get some paw prints that indicate there's definitely a big beast around here. Following the screams, Elliot finds a speaker just for them to feel like everything was debunked in that moment. Logan and Rex kind of get into it. Logan storms off, Rex also does, and then you hear this. They go after to help Logan, and we figure out that one, Logan is dead. There's body parts everywhere and guts, and then you figure out that Rex planted all of it outside of Logan's body parts. He planted the speakers, he planted the footprint mold, but now it's getting out of hand. The beast appears, Rex gets attacked, Jake follows, Elliot runs, Jake keeps the camera rolling and he's mauled. Elliot grabs a camera and bolts. Now we eventually do get into some Blair Witch territory. You get the camera footage from the woods at night. Of course there's a cult.
King of darkness, Lord of death. King of darkness, Lord of death.
They bring out a woman to sacrifice. Elliot stops them and they send the beast on her. After Elliot hides out overnight, he does his final expose on camera to indicate that he is going to turn in the footage. Now, The Devil's Familiar is definitely a layered found footage movie. You kind of forget that there's a police investigation going on until the end. There's some really solid pacing, even though it seems really fast, but it definitely gives that found footage, student making a film vibe. The plot twist was kind of corny, however, I liked it a lot. 8 out of 10. Next.
Hey, Jennifer.
To Jennifer. This one is a hard watch, mainly because Joey, our main character, is spiraling, thinking that his girlfriend is cheating on him. You open up the film from him getting a text from Jennifer, which is strange because I don't know why she would be texting him if he thinks she's cheating on him. but I digress. This film doesn't really hold back on the awkwardness and the cringe factor of a found footage film. You get both Steven, his cousin, who is behind the camera, and Joey, who is spiraling the whole time. They plan on going to LA to confront Jennifer about her cheating habits and for Joey to get answers. Hopefully, she's not. According to Joey, he doesn't want her to be cheating, but you can clearly see that he is dead set on thinking it is. Once this movie takes off, you immediately sense something's off. I mean, the tone isn't just some guy checks on girlfriend, it's like a creepy guy checking in on some girl. Eventually, Joey and Steven get to LA where Jennifer supposedly is. Joey's trying to act casual, but his obsession is screaming through almost every scene. It's strange, but at the same time, I kind of get it. As the film goes on, you definitely start to get the annoyance from Steven. He is the character that I feel like they tried to bring comic relief to, but my God, is he annoying. He's constantly having Joey's back, but at the same time, no interest of his safety. They meet up with Steven's friend, Marty, who this guy is a D-bag in himself, does some shady shit, does some drugs, puts Joey in some weird situations, yet Steven definitely does his part on being Marty's friend and constantly having his back. Without spoiling too much of the spiraling Joey goes through, they eventually find Jennifer's location, and when I tell you that it's kind of hard to watch because for a second you want to put yourself into Joey's shoes. You're this boyfriend who lives in a different state. You find out that your girlfriend is cheating on you. It's a tough pill to swallow when you have no control over it, yet you see once they get to Jennifer's house his reaction. Joey does his best to really keep his cool.
Fuck, man! It's 2 fucking years, Jennifer! God damn it, man!
Definitely didn't over-exaggerate there, buddy. Joey eventually parks his car, he makes his way over to Jennifer's house, tells Steven to stay inside. Steven gets a little agitated. He's gonna go follow Joey, maybe to back up his cousin, but then you learn in the trunk, Marty is dead, Joey killed him. Steven kind of freaks out, runs towards Jennifer's house. Every light is turned off. You eventually find Joey upstairs covered in blood with the guy that Jennifer was with. Joey freaks out that Steven is there, stabs him in the back. Joey then goes to find Jennifer, and this is where I even sat there and said, what? Yeah. They weren't dating. Jennifer got a restraining order on Joey because of how creepy he is. This dude just fell in love with her. It's a really, really, really good, hard watch. Perfect found footage in my opinion. It doesn't go off of the paranormal jump scares, nothing like that. You just see the craziness of the whole thing. In my opinion, to Jennifer, 10 out of 10. Next film.
Dustin?
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, for some reason your phone number said unavailable.
That's weird. How have you been?
Visher is a movie about a scammer who gets control of this woman's home via her cameras and all of her security, and then everything just kind of goes haywire. Now, when I said earlier about walking the line of found footage, this definitely takes the cake on walking the line. This really isn't filmed in a found footage perspective. They just provide found footage. I mean, you get the CCTV, you get the webcam. It definitely gives the vibe that knowing that any camera, any call, someone could be watching you. We open up to the scammer, sweet talking a guy out of $20,000 like it's just another Tuesday. And then he gets another hit for $90,000. Test out some voices, calls the victim, his voice changer isn't working, find out her name is Ruth, and originally Samesh goes with his name being Tom, and then it's Samesh. He does a little bit of finagling in regards to her account being hacked. Eventually there's malware on her computer so he can get access to her cameras just for this guy to creep on her. I mean, he kind of falls in love with her instantly. He does a little bit of Photoshop action with them being married, but then it gets creepy. We eventually notice a woman in the upstairs CCTV feed, someone who isn't Ruth. Samesh calls Ruth while she's sleeping, pretending to be her mother. Now during this, mind you, be careful who you're talking to. You'll legitimately never know. But Samesh tells Ruth to go make sure her doors are locked, make sure everything is safe, in her mother's voice. Very strange. After they talk, Ruth then calls him. and casually asks him, "Do you believe in ghosts?" She says she's been seeing something in her home, a figure, I guess. She's scared and definitely vulnerable given that she lives by herself. Ruth even has proof. She emails over a video that she took and we get our first little jump scare. Samesh then admits to Ruth that he sees something in her house. He then lets her know that he has access to her cameras. She listens. She follows his instructions as he navigates her around the house remotely. Suddenly though, the CCTV feed kind of goes dark. When the feed returns, however, Ruth is in a basement she didn't know existed. She says it's warm, then the call glitches. Her voice changes, kind of demonic and distorted. The CCTV distorts and then cuts out. Samesh then combs through the cameras and we see Ruth being dragged into the bathroom with blood following her hand. Samesh then cycles through the cameras again and sees a girl on top of the stairs. She talks directly to him through the feed, it looks like. The girl tells Samesh that something is inside Ruth. And of course, baby, possession. Oh yeah. Ruth gets possessed and they put that front and center. I mean, you got foggy white eyes, you got demonic voices, you got the whole nine. Possessed Ruth starts toying with Samesh via the cameras, then begins slashing her own throat. That's when Samesh then drops everything and goes to Ruth's house. Yeah, this dude didn't live too far, made his way over to her house to make sure she was okay. I don't know. He's still a scammer, but nice dude, I guess. The final part of this movie is kind of trippy. I mean, you learn that Ruth isn't possessed. There's actually no ghosts and she set him up. We find out that Ruth's mom was scammed in the past years and she's been kidnapping and killing other scammers. So Samesh, now Hadi, is kind of in a little bit of a predicament. He's already wheelchair bound and she kind of has the upper hand on him. Hadi flips the situation. He strangles Ruth with a rear naked choke, killing her. You then see him cooking food. He serves himself and Ruth's dead body dinner, talking about how they plan on staying together forever and they're laying with each other in bed. I didn't know necrophilia was going to be in this, but here we are. Thank you for joining me. So Visher definitely gets a little bit of love because you kind of want to feel, which is very strange to say, you kind of want to feel for the scammer. Dude falls in love with a beautiful woman gets possessed and dies. Scammer goes to go and protect her. Beautiful woman ends up trying to kill him, but then the whole dead thing, and I don't know. Good movie, didn't really fit the found footage, but it does a really good job on using the CCTV footage. For me, that's a 6 out of 10 movie. Now, I know these aren't no Paranormal Activity, The Blair Witch, but these ones are actually really good. I left out a lot of the actual meat of these movies because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. Yet, you kind of get the gist. If you like the video, go ahead and leave a like. I personally really do enjoy found footage films, especially when they get the nice, different perspective on found footage and horror. I mean, to Jennifer, like, that's definitely a horrific scenario, not really paranormal, but weird. So, very cringy. And then you get the paranormal stuff, obviously the cults. But I love to see what people can actually do with what little they have. And now, if you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe. We do videos every Monday, and if you want to join our little community, we're at 45 subscribers, baby. Come on. Today was definitely fun. If it's something that you want me to do, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. You have been beautiful. I've been CinaGoon, and I'm out. Bye.